Good morning, dear students. I, Harsh Inania from Government Law College, Ajmer, is present before you to deliver a lecture on the Right to Information Act. So, today, dear students, will try to understand the scope and ambit of Section 25 of the Right to Information Act 2005. Okay, it is basically about monitoring and reporting being done by the central and state information commissions and the recommendations made by these bodies, and consequently the recommendations being laid down by the relevant central and state government respectively, and thereafter bringing these recommendations before the parliament or the state legislature as the case may be. Okay, so first of all, let us try to understand from the beginning of this section. Okay, so the central and the state information commission should at the year end prepare an annual report on the working of this act. Okay, so basically they have to mention the various details pertaining to the mandate of this act. Okay, so what has to be done, we'll try to understand in the succeeding sections. Okay, but what is more important is annual report by the central and the state information commission on the working of this act has to be prepared. Okay, so we can see what are the merits and what are the demerits. Okay, what are the major hindrances, what are the major impediments faced by the applicants seeking the information. Okay, because this act requires that in this report the various details will be included. So that is why the net effect is that the commissions will make a report on that, and on the basis of that it will recommend to the respective governments, that is central and the state governments, and they will lay down these reports before their respective legislatures. Okay, so it is a very nice provision because it is helping in the smooth working of the Right to Information Act. Okay, and on the basis of this report recommendations can also be suggested, and they have to be also be implemented. Until and unless this particular provision is contained, okay, or sorts of it is contained in any act, the working of that act cannot be as smooth as this act. Okay, so it is a kind of remedial provision in terms of making the implementation of the Right to Information Act in a far better manner. Next, every ministry and every department shall collect informations from the respective departments under their jurisdiction, okay, about the mandate of this act, and forward the same to the central and the state information commission. Okay, so what are the details that have to be collected? They are, first of all, the number of applications seeking information. Okay, so how many applications were made, firstly. Second is how many times the information request was refused. Okay, the reasons for the same and the particular provision which was invoked for refusing the information, and also the number of times that particular provision was invoked. Is it clear? So it will help us to identify which particular provision is popular in terms of refusing the information. Whether it is justified or not justified can easily be traced. Okay, so whenever we will see that the information is refused, the provision pertaining to it will be before the authorities. Also, the reason for the same will be before the authorities. Next is the number of the times the appeal for review against the supplying of information was made, and what was the outcome of that particular review will also be have to be provided by these public authorities before the respective departments and ministries, and subsequently these will be forwarded to central and state information commissions. Okay, next is what kind of administrative action was taken against the employees if in case the provisions of the Right to Information Act were not applied effectively. Okay, so such instances will also be referred and forwarded to the respective commissions. Okay, next is the instances showing the implementation of the provisions of the Right to Information Act, the intention being shown by the respective employees. Such incidents will also be forwarded. Okay, so it is a positive thing. Okay, now the report will also contain the amount of money collected by each public authority. Okay, also if the recommendations are made pertaining to the modernization, development, or the betterment of this act, they will also be published. It can even include the alterations or amendment which are required to be introduced so as to implement this Right to Information Act in a better manner, and the spirit of this act should prevail so that such amendments are always welcome. Therefore, such recommendations will also be made in the report by the Central Information Commission or the State Information Commission. Next is the reports submitted by the Central Information Commission and the State Information Commission. These reports will be submitted and forwarded by the central and state governments respectively before the Parliament and the respective state legislature or state legislatures in case there are more than one house, okay, of such state legislature. Finally, the Central Information Commission or the State Information Commission may make recommendations to particular public authorities if it finds that they are not working in consonance with the spirit of the Right to Information Act, and such recommendation can also include particular directions to be followed so that the act is implemented in the best possible manner and the outcome of the implementation becomes really fruitful. Now let us understand section 26, which is regarding the implementation of the provisions of this act by the respective government and the preparation of a guide concerning the implementation or the better availability of easy guidelines to the common public. Okay, so it is regarding this. So appropriate government, that is the central and the state governments, to the extent of the availability of financial and other resources. So this particular provision is subject to the availability of financial and other resources at hand with the respective central and the state governments. So first of all, this is the basis. Okay, so what they have to do is they have to hold proper educational and training programs so as to make the general public aware of the availability of this right to information, and this in particular should include the disadvantages sections of the society. Okay, so they must be educated regarding the availability of this right to information. Okay, and secondly, the public authorities must develop and participate in such educational programs which try to teach the masses of the availability of the right to information. Okay, and the nature of this act must also be explained and taught to these people, that how much potent weapon they are having in their hands. Okay, so that they can also participate in the democracy and this republic. Okay, because ours is a welfare state, and the activities carried out by the state must be transparent. Therefore the public authorities must also be a part of this transparent model, and the people must be aware about this right. So this duty is imposed to the respective central and the state government. Okay, and they must work subject to the availability of financial and other resources. Next, proper training must be imparted to the central public information officers and the state public information officers, and appropriate training material must also be given to the central public information officers and the state public information officers. Next is efforts. In fact, best efforts must be taken so that the best implementation of the provisions of the Right to Information Act is actually being done, and accurate and the speedier information must be provided. So the information must be accurate, not only accurate but timely providing of the information is also necessary. So government must take appropriate necessary steps so as to ensure it. Clear? Now what lies next is the appropriate government within a time limit of 18 months shall prepare a guide for the public in general, so that any reasonable person who wishes to apply under this act or who wishes that his right under this act may easily be available and enforced. So the report must be in such comprehensible and reasonable form that even a layman can understand it and exercise his or her right accordingly. So it can be done only and only when such report is simple, precise and crisp enough. So for example, it must be along with the proper diagrams and appropriate pictures so that a layman also can understand about the provisions of this act. Okay, and since we have already studied that the appropriate government must also impart education and training. Okay, so education to the masses, especially to the vulnerable groups and disadvantages sections. Okay, on the other hand, the government has also to provide training to their officers. So it is a complete thing now. Okay, not only training their officers but also educating the masses about their rights, and one more step further, that is the report creation by the appropriate government. Now, what lies next is what might be contained in that report. So, the contents of the report, first of all, what kind of form has to be used in order to exercise the right available under this act, that is the right to information. So the manner and the form in which the application has to be made will be provided, okay, in the report. Next, the amount of money to be paid in order to exercise this right must also be provided, must also be explained. The duties of the central public information officers and the state public information officers must also be disclosed. Okay, and also the help which is easily available from the central public information officer and the state public information officers should also be written. Okay, so it must be mentioned in the report that these people, these officers will render all assistance to the public in general at large, and especially the weaker sections, the socially and educationally backward category of citizens or any vulnerable groups. So they will render all such assistance to such people. Next, the name, designation and the address, the official address, as well as the phone number, the fax number of the officers, the central public information officer or the state public information officer has also to be published, including their email addresses, so they can be easily be approached or their information is easily available. So therefore, if the public at large, any person in general is having any issue regarding the understanding of this act or the understanding of their rights in particular, can approach such officers. The report will also include the objects of this act. It will also include the remedies available in law in case of the failure to exercise the right to information. Okay, so all the remedies in law available as per the law will be cited in that particular report, so that the person, if he does not get the information, knows by reading that particular report that now what remedies are available in his hand. Okay, also the report must contain the voluntary disclosure of the records as per the section 4, which we had earlier understood and read. Okay, so the voluntary revelation of the records, the public records, will be mentioned in this report. Now, the people will be aware about their rights, that the information had to be made available by these public authorities voluntarily. Okay, so such records should have been disclosed voluntarily. Next, any additional regulations or circulars, if any, they also will be included in this particular report. Okay, so these additional circulars and regulations which are pertaining to this particular act, okay, so that effective implementation of this act can be done. So such additional circulars and regulation will also be included in the report. Okay, now the appropriate governments must from time to time update these reports. Thank you, dear students, for listening so patiently. Have a great day ahead.